What's up, YouTube? This your boy Heartless coming at you guys with another one. This time it's just me and my boy Cut hosting this series. Um, we're gonna start off today on our entrance news. Our intro news. Cut, lead the way, player.
Well, it looks like Microsoft is coming out with a Windows 10 anniversary update to strengthen um, a lot of the vulnerabilities that they've had with, I believe it's the Edge instead of uh, Internet Explorer. They're trying to prevent um, zero-day incidents. The only other news that I've come across is that in the fourth quarter of 2016, Apple actually overtook Samsung
They overtook
as top
Samsung.
vendor. And other strategists and all that, they're attributing it to the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, and and as a mixture of the battery issue that Sam earlier in 2016. You know, when the phones were catching fire. Samsung does have their own conference.
I can hear you. Hey, Cut, you there? All right. I guess he dropped out of the call by accident. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that, for the technical difficulties. Basically, what he was saying was that Apple took over and beat Samsung as far as being on, as far as they're leading in sales. That's basically what he was trying to say. Let me try to get him back in here. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I must have dropped off.
What in the world going on?
I have no idea. Um, but where where was I cut off at? Do you remember?
Yeah, you was actually discussing about the Samsung and Apple and their sales.
Correct. Yeah, and I'll just touch base on the first part. Apple surpassed Samsung in the fourth quarter of last year. Uh, they're attributing it to both the uh, new iPhone 7 and 7 Plus and the prior issues earlier in the year from Samsung. But with Samsung coming out with their own um, reveal for all of their products instead of doing it, at the CES and all that.
Yeah, they're doing their
We'll
own
find. Well,
press conferences.
yeah, um, it'll be exciting to see who uh, the top mobile device vendor will be going into the third quarter, second or third quarter of this year. So, but that's all the intro news that I've got.
It seems like everybody's doing that now. Nobody's less and less people going to CES and MWC nowadays.
But
Everybody having their own conventions, private conventions.
yeah,
Even if you look at even with E3, it's the same with EA. EA is not going to be shown. It's not going to participate in E3. Instead, they're going to have their own gaming convention.
well, that's because they have, you know, with a lot of these conventions, their reveals or their presentations, or whatever you want to call it, they only get a set time, and it's hard for them to get everything that they want to cover in that set amount of you know in that set amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more beneficial to them to have an extended convention of their own to show off all their products, and they can cross a wide range of products with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Samsung, they can do their phones, their their TVs, what and anything that they have a hand in. When it comes to E3, it's mainly they have their hand in so many titles
Right.
that it's it's just easier for them to not only show what they're predicting to be their top hits throughout the year, um, but to per, you know show all the titles that they're going to be coming out with,
Right.
and to have booths where people can uh, test out some of the gameplay or something like that. Kiosks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these companies are just getting so large that it's less advantageous for them to be at a large convention and to hold maybe a smaller convention, but only dedicated to what they're doing,
Right.
and their products. That's how I'm seeing it.
And I completely agree with you on that because I've noticed that as well. Because they it's like with E3 and a lot of these other conventions, there is a set time limit, and it's like the show is only for about an hour and 20 minutes, and for everybody to squeeze, you know what I'm saying, everybody to squeeze their little part in there, it's just not enough time to show your content.
No, that they like I was saying, they have to pick and choose what they want to show, and they're always gonna do what they feel are their top hits.
Mm-hmm.
Their heavy hitter AAA games.
Right. So now on to the next topic. Today we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 could be in the works, ladies and gentlemen. Reason why is because Sony is currently waiting on Microsoft to see what's the next step as far as the Scorpio. They want to see what's the next big thing, and they want to see what kind of specifications is going to be confirmed and brought to the table, and see how the console plans on performing in its class. From Microsoft and from a lot of people standpoint, it's the Scorpio is supposed to be a next generation console. It's not going to be a half-ass 4.5 like they call the PlayStation 4 Pro. So Sony counterpunch to the Scorpio is to just wait and see. What's your thoughts on that, Cut?
Well, I've been reading a couple things on IGN, GameSpot, and all that, and they're not technically saying that the Scorpio is going to be a step up or a new generation console. They're calling it I think they're calling it a mid generation console. Um, Basically, what and how I interpret that is they're taking specific features that they're wanting to move to a new console and maybe in the foreseeable future, not in the nearest future or anything like that. But they're testing out concepts and um, you know features and bringing those to market and allowing consumers to test them for a few years before they start rolling out all the newest next gen console.
But my
That
thing
that's
is, I completely agree. But I honestly feel like if they're gonna release a next gen console, they better prepare that motherfucker to perform not just 4K but 8K, because we already know 8K is around the corner. But still, resolution isn't everything.
No.
We need frames per second. That's the main concern. Like with the PlayStation 4 Pro, it renders not even native 4K, but the frames per second dips from 30 frames to sometimes 28, 29, according to Digital Foundry. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I am I see this more as a like I said, it's they're somewhat beta testing long term some of the new features, the new styles and stuff like that for the upcoming uh generation of consoles. That's what I see. I see the Scorpio as a stepping stone to the next generation console. Kind of like how the 360 went to the 360 Slim.
mm-hmm.
Uh, and once after we saw the 360 Slim, we saw the Xbox One, which for the most part was a slimmed down version of a 360, but with a lot more heavy hitting features and stuff like that. They're stepping down. If I'm not mistaken, they also made an Xbox One. Is it Xbox One S or a One Slim?
1S.
Okay, and see, and with the Scorpio, they're gonna make it even thinner. You know, these are all, to me anyway, these are all design attempts to figure out a chassis for the new console, as well as the new features, whether it be for the graphics, um, the type of media it's going to take, whether or not they're going to start to phase out game discs and stuff like that.
And see, that's another thing. I'm kind of another thing you said that it won't be you don't think it'll be a next generation console, but I don't understand why would they make the Xbox One and then the Xbox One S? Because usually after the S variant, it's usually another console that drops. But take in reminder that the Xbox One did release in 2013,
Yep.
and we're in 2017.
Yeah.
So be honest with you, we kind of due for a new console, in my opinion. But
Yep.
there's circulation and speculation as far as the next gen ain't supposed to take off until 2020. Honestly, I don't think the gaming community should have to wait that long.
No,
I honestly,
I don't think they will wait that long.
yeah, because
Um,
it's just not possible, man. Because it is technology just keeps changing.
we'll see. I don't, and if you want my honest opinion, I don't think the Scorpio is going to be a major hit. We're gonna, unlike the Xbox One, where you had tons of people, you know, switching consoles, um, and Xbox or uh, Microsoft's still coming up with things for the Xbox One,
Yeah,
and so I see the
and tricks for
Scorpio.
development wise.
Yeah, I see. That's why I said the Scorpio is just going to be a stepping stone to the next gen. Um, and I don't. I think we will see the Scorpio only out for maybe 18 months before the next gen hits.
Which
Because Xbox is really good about getting quick feedback from the gaming community about what to do with game. What's what's great with the console, what needs to be fixed. Because as I said in a previous podcast, for the first 3 months that well, I won't say three. The first 6 months the Xbox One was out. Um, there were almost weekly updates, or bi-weekly updates to fix something that was wrong with the Xbox One. And they did the same thing with when the 360 dropped and all that. So they're still constantly working on being bringing the next gen console out. But I don't see the Scorpio being that console.
I don't know, cause Phil Spencer did say he did say the Xbox One is still going to continue to still get support, and he when he said something that I completely was going to do. He's basically said, don't rush to go ahead and upgrade and don't rush to pre-order for a Scorpio. Me, I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with
No.
you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm rich or anything, but I do have two 4K TVs. But the only TV that's not 4K in my household is obviously the guest room, because if you put a 4K TV in your guest room, you're not gonna get rid of them motherfuckers. so so other than that, I have two 4K televisions, and I'm not rushing for a resolution console. Like, to be honest with you, I want to see games that perform sick on a next generation console. So instead of me investing another $400 to $500 on another game system that may not have any exclusives to it, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we both been a victim of paying full price for the Xbox One and still seeing the damn games being supported for the 360.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then like a year later and a year and a half later, there was a whole bunch of sales on the Xbox One, whereas me and you, we dropped five, big five.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We dropped the big five plus tax,
Plus, and then
a new controller,
the external, external memory.
right? So all of that, let's say roughly we spent about $600, roughly.
Yeah.
$600. Let's say 620, because we got another controller, external device, and yada yada yada. Okay, 620, and a year and a half later to 2 years later, and I won't even say 2 years. I'll say like a year and a half later. We seen the Xbox One being on sale, knocked down $50 off, knocked down $100 off, because it was competitive pricing going against the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. And
So
now you get them for $3.99 all day long.
right. Meanwhile, we
E-
paid five.
Yeah.
That shit irked the hell out of me.
And, and that's not even for the day one edition, dude. That's for the waiting 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
hoping the price will drop a little bit.
Yep.
We find it. You find a sale. $25 off your Xbox One. Okay, that's $25. I don't have to spend on it.
Right. See that right there. When he said that statement, I was like, man, you must have read my mind, because I am not buying an Xbox Scorpio on day one. I'm sorry. Especially if I got all these add-ons on my Xbox One and I got all these games on my Xbox One. Like, why do I need to hurry to rush to get a Scorpio? You get what I'm saying? Like, I want to see games. I really, to be honest with you, man, I want a Scorpio, but I'm gonna get it when I'm not necessarily saying when a price drops, but when I start seeing the games rolling, because it took way too long for the games to start rolling in for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
And that's a damn shame, especially coming from a long ass year, not year, long ass term from the Xbox 360 leading up to the Xbox One. You get what I'm saying? Them jokers, these
uh,
developers and all these people should have been started making games for the Xbox One, and the Xbox and Microsoft should have did a better job on getting these damn dev kits up to par and sending it off to these developers. You get what I'm saying? Because games will start running into the Xbox One until damn near 2015. I mean,
yeah.
games came in. We had some exclusives. Don't get me wrong. We had Rise, Son of Rome, and Forza, and the same three games. Put it like that. The same three exclusive. I ain't even gonna lie. We had the same three. We had the same three going on. But this is now, ladies and gentlemen, take heed. I'm an Xbox guy. Like I've been with Xbox since day one. If you look at my account, Breeze. No, it's not Breeze A10. If you up Heartless, you look at my you look at my account. That should have say 11-year veteran, 10 to 11-year veteran. That's how
Mine
long.
too.
In cut, it's the same thing. We've been with Xbox for the longest, day one. Um, Hell, I remember playing Crimson Skies. That was my first Xbox game that I've purchased that was online, and I was slaving motherfuckers in that game in Crimson Skies. But anyway, back to the topic. Um, I really feel like from going from 2005 with the Xbox 360 release to 2013, 2000, that's more than enough fucking years to get prepared to release games for. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like, and it just the launch of the Xbox One was just too slow for me, man. It wasn't enough games. It just wasn't. But it was the games were so sparse on the release of Xbox One that I was damn near investing in indies, man, because I wanted to play on a console.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Peggle. Like I never ever you couldn't pay me to pay that fucking game, but I was willing to play that shit because I wanted to play on the Xbox on my new machine because I already played and beat. Well, I didn't beat, but I already played Dead Rising 3 that came out. Son of Rome. I done played and beat that. Forza Motorsport 5. Done played and beat that. And there was a couple other two games that had came out on release. But they should it should have been more than that, man. That's my only complaint. And if they do that same shit with the Xbox Scorpio with just releasing certain amount of games for it, then I'm definitely not gonna feel the need to hurry up and go and get it just to say, oh, I got it, or hell, I'm probably not even going to do it just to, because of course you're going to have a couple other YouTubers that's going to be rushing to get it so they can hurry up and do an unboxing for their views and subscribers and shit like that. But I probably, I just don't know. It just depends. It all depends as far as what the games look like and how many games is going to come out just for that console only. You know what I'm saying? Or if not for that console only, I want to see how much of a strong of a performance boost it's going to have over the original Xbox One.
Yeah. And to elaborate on that, you know, with the past history of the length of time for not only games but the console and everything like that to get a lot of the bugs worked out and price drops, it's actually not worth rushing out and buying it. It really isn't. If I buy it, it'll be a year and a half, if not 2 years, before I buy it, and that's probably so. The time the next gen will already be announced, or we'll have a lot more info on what the actual next gen is. That's the point of going out, buying a brand new console for maybe 10 months and then having to turn around and buy the newest one after that.
Right.
Because I honestly don't see the Scorpio having a runtime, you know, a runtime as long as the original Xbox, or the Xbox 360. I just don't see it. I mean, the Xbox One didn't even have a runtime close to the Xbox 360 before they started talks on another console.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So I mean that's one of the number one reasons why I'm holding out on getting it.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, I pulled up the article as far as the PlayStation 5. This guy named Patcher on PlayStation 5. Sony's going to wait and see what happens with the Project Scorpio before they release it. But let's rewind time. Before was playing on my Xbox, and before I want to say before I got my PlayStation 2, around the same time Nintendo 64 was out, and the PlayStation was getting ready to come out. I was more of a PC gamer in between. Did you know that, Cut?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I was actually a PC gamer in the early 2000s. I had a big joystick, and I had a big ass PC that was like, it was old, but the specs of it was strong enough to run games. And one of the games that I had was this. It was a whole collection that I had, and it was actually called Team Apache. Did you ever
I
hear of
remember
that
the
game?
game.
You remember that
I
game,
remember
right?
the game.
That game was fucking sick, man. It was sick. I would have the joystick and I would plug it up to the computer right in the USB drive, and I would just go to work, man, with that damn joystick, driving that damn, flying that helicopter, flying the fuck out that helicopter. And what I liked about it is that sometimes you would do, I don't want to say airstrikes, but sometimes you'll fly over and shoot down a couple bad guys in a couple of missions and shoot down some artillery. And there was some missions where you had a wingman, or sometimes you had like six guys behind you. Like I done played from Team Apache 1, 2, 3 on down. Like that game was fucking phenomenal, and I wish they would bring that back. I really wish they would bring that back because that game. Could you imagine how incredible that game would be, and how it would look today with this kind of graphics and tech? It was like an open world game, just an open world helicopter simulation. Imagine that, man! Like that shit was everything. Yeah, it had PlayStation One graphics, but I didn't give a fuck. It played good. That was a good ass game, man. What was your experience? Have you ever played it? Like, what was your experience with it?
I played a little bit of it, but I didn't play much.
Gotcha.
Um, the games that I played on the computer, because I first had the 64 and then I got the PlayStation. But on the PC, I only played like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Sim City, and uh, The Sims. That was the extent of my PC gaming.
Yep, I done pulled up the image and everything. Team Apache, here's a go, ladies and gentlemen. Graphics look crazy, but it would look damn good for that time period. Sometimes I'll fly as high as to the point where there's snow on top of the mountains, and you could look inside. And you could fly the helicopter in third person, and you could fly it in first person. Shit was sick, man. But
A lot of the simulation games, I have to. It depends if it's racing. I have to do it in first person um, with the bumper view.
oh, I grew up that way. You kidding me? I played Ridge Racer that way. You ever played that game, Ridge Racer, and the first Need for Speed on PS2? No,
I
it was
play
PS1. My bad.
the first Need for Speed game that I played was Need for Speed Underground 2.
What? You ever played Hot Pursuit?
Oh, I played Hot Pursuit, but I'm just saying the
Recent?
Underground 2 was, huh?
You said the most recent one you ever played?
No, 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 no. So the first one I ever played
Okay.
was Underground 2.
I know the Need for Speed was pretty damn good back when it was on a PlayStation and PlayStation 2, especially when it had the cops chasing you. I see how they took it back to the roots and made it that way.
Yeah.
Um, it used to be like fucking Forza Horizon, but with cops chasing your ass. That's how it used to be, except for minus the you driving in the dirt and shit like that. But It used to be like Forza Horizon with cops chasing you. Matter of fact, it was more like Burnout with cops chasing behind you, except for you crashing cars and knocking people over and stuff like that.
But see, there was Underground 2. There were glitches that if you set the settings on like your engine and stuff like that to a certain, it glitch the engine and make it just absurdly powerful. And um, those were some of the first. Those were some of the first glitches that I ever learned in games. Besides, like, well, they weren't glitches; they were just um, oh, dadgummit. Like on Goldeneye, they were rewards, I guess you could say. Not necessarily even cheats.
Gotcha. But yeah. Back to back when games was when they had cheat codes and game shots and stuff like that. Those was the golden years.
Yeah,
It really was, and you know actually why? Let's take it back to its roots. Do you know actually why games back then had cheat codes that you can actually go to the cheat menu and then type it in?
yeah, they were mods. They started out as mods, if I'm not mistaken.
But you know why they were placed there?
Mm-mm.
A lot of times it was placed there by accident, or the developers was just lazy to take them out because when they was developing the game, it was just too hard for them to beat.
Mm-mm.
You get what I'm saying? So while they was making those games, they was like, damn, this shit is hard as hell. Let's numb down the difficulty. And when that didn't work, they put in the cheat code to get through the level, to get through the certain stage, to keep it going as far as the development process of it. But then when they got too far in the development process and was like, yo, we already done with the game. Fuck it, lead the cheat code menu there. Like whatever. Let's just hope the game gets at least 2 to 3 years without somebody finding out the cheat code to the
Mm-hmm.
start menu or whatever. So and then eventually somebody, you know, it doesn't leak out. 9 times out of 10, sometimes it will leak out from the inside, but a lot of times you get people who's bored and don't got nothing else to do and just press random buttons and then get a cheat code and then do it again, and then they write it down and then leak it out online. You get what I'm saying? Like they'll
Yep.
figure it out. If it's not a cheat code menu in the game, they'll go automatically go to the start menu and then start pressing random buttons. So that's how cheat codes became in existence, and all that shit got to a stop when Xbox first came out and PlayStation 3 was released because PlayStation 2 had a cheat code menus as well.
Yes, they did.
So that was
But when the Xbox came out and they had the achievement system,
mm-hmm.
if they'd allow you to put cheat codes in, but once you activated those cheat codes, you wouldn't get the achievements.
Right. So they knew what they was doing in that department, and a lot of people wanted achievements. Hell, I still want achievements and trophies on PlayStation. So I don't even bother. If I get stuck on a mission, guess what? I'm pulling it up on YouTube. Look for a walkthrough or tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go on to the next topic. The next topic is Nintendo boosts Switch production because the pre-orders are doing too great. How do you feel about that, man?
Well, I think it's overhyped, and so I don't, and I think that's a little bit of the issue is it is overhyped, and I have a feeling some people will be disappointed, but those hardcore Nintendo fans, they won't be disappointed.
No,
It's a Nintendo console for them, so
they don't see no wrong in it.
no.
They don't see no wrong in it.
You know,
Shout outs to Cut. My man is over there eating and having a party over there.
no, I'm eating though.
uh,
Um,
but yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nintendo. I'm not gonna bash them. I'm just gonna wish them the best of luck. I don't want to turn
well,
this
you know,
channel into
they
a hate Nintendo channel.
no, Nintendo's good. I played on Nintendo for years.
Yeah, we all grew up on Nintendo. Everybody grew up on Nintendo.
But I mean, you know, Nintendo had a good success with the Pokemon Go craze. Um, so I think that gave the company the extra boost to be like, hey, you know, we can still do this. And the Switch actually reminds me of a mobile device. It reminds me of a tablet, just like the Wii U.
I don't know, man. The Wii U looked like something you can find in Dollar General or something you can find in Toys R Us in the back or the bottom in the clearance section.
I'm just saying the overall concept reminds me of a tablet.
Right. It's just crazy, man. But
But I do wish him the best. I'm That's not one console I'm going to be getting.
shit, neither am I. Uh, Next topic is Red Dead Redemption 2. The release date is set. So, well, not release date, but the release date for the pre-orders is supposed to be set for February 5th, according to Reddit. It's going to be available at Target, and the release date is supposed to be in October. I believe it's October 5th. Don't quote me on this, ladies and gentlemen. It could be later on October, but I think it's in the early October weeks. But it's supposed to be coming out around then, which fall. You already know whenever it comes to a big popular game, it's definitely going to get pushed to Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Same with consoles. Christmas. The only thing that
Yeah.
gets pushed to the beginning of the year is movies and TV shows that's popular. Like for instance, Pacific Rim. The next Pacific Rim movie is going to drop February 2018, starring the
Mm.
guy who was in Star Wars, the black
Sons of
guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to be in it.
Is the guy from Sons of Anarchy going to be in it too? I can't remember his name.
No, I don't
He
think
was in the
so.
first Pacific Rim.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. I think so. One of the brothers, the one who plays one of the twin brothers, that's the guy you talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna be in that one. But yeah, I'm
but
definitely looking forward to that next Pacific Rim, man. That shit is amazing.
hmm
It was an amazing movie.
I'm actually looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie.
Shit, same here. Speaking of Spider-Man, superhero, I've been watching Arrow, and I love the fact how they connect Arrow with Flash, and how they connect Flash with Supergirl. Like that shit is smart and smooth.
Dude,
You know,
I love those movies. Flash is actually on right now. I have it DVR'd,
okay,
but yeah, dude, I've watched all. I've been watching all of those seasons
man, I'm trying to
or
catch up.
all of those shows.
I'm trying to catch
But
up on Netflix.
Arrow's really good.
There it is. That guy Slade is a nut,
Yeah. Um.
aka Deathstroke. But
Yep.
I didn't watch all of them, so I only got to the part where Slade kills his moms. Crazy. But back to this gaming news. Michael Patcher also says, quoted, "Who has a 4K television?" Cut. You have a 4K television? He
I
ba-
do not.
because he's basically knocking off saying 4K is not all that great and not everybody has it. A lot of
Well,
people don't have it.
he's semi right
Yeah, he's semi accurate. Let's just say 50-50.
because because the 4K service for you know cable TV, satellite TV, or whatever it is not anywhere near what it what it needs to be for a 4K TV in every household. You have select service providers that only have it, and in those are only in select areas. So I know Kansas City is one that has it.
Yeah, but nowadays you can get like a real cheap, decent 4K television. Like you can get the Vizio E series, or you can even get the Toshiba and all these other low budget brands. Vizio not included, of course, but all these other low
Oh yeah,
budget
you
brands.
can buy them cheaply now,
Yeah,
but to to be able to watch your all their shows on your TV or stuff like that in 4K, it's just not going to happen for a little while longer.
yeah, and I think it's the same with HDR, and I like how they incorporated 4K in a Amazon Fire TV.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the streaming services have moved to 4K.
Right.
Um, because they shoot like Netflix is a major one that's already moved to 4K. They
And
shoot
HDR.
they shoot almost everything that they make Netflix makes in 4K. Um, in the opening credits or in the ending credits, it'll say this movie or this show was shot in 4K, high definition. Excuse me. So, but yeah, the TVs the TVs themselves aren't have dropped in price, and I believe the only reason they've dropped in price is because other countries established have a major established infrastructure that's already running 4K. Like in Japan, um, some parts of I would say China, and some of the major manufacturers, can't talk, manufacturers of the TVs. They're they wouldn't be pushing a product that couldn't be supported on their infrastructure.
I agree.
But I see 4K coming back out a lot and at a lot wider infrastructure here, or in a lot larger infrastructure here in the states over the next I'd say 18 to 24 months. One thing that I'm a bit skeptical on is satellite TV coming in at 4K.
Yeah, prices might increase, man.
Yeah.
Prices might definitely increase.
Mm-hmm. But and the prices for service, I believe, are what are going to jump up. Not the price for the actual product. Because as I stated, there's over the entire world, there's already established infrastructure for 4K television and stuff like that. But so they're not going to drop the price or increase the price of a TV. I believe it's going to be an increase in price in the services, simply because all of our internet and cable providers are monopolized here
Right.
in the states.
Right. Well, let's just see who's going to be the first one to spit out 4K, and whoever do spit out 4K first, they're going to get the most customers.
Yeah.
Well, that's half right. But let's go on to the next topic, which is close to our last topic. Damn, we covered up everything in this so far. The best scary video game. What do you think is
The
the
what? The best?
scary video game? Right.
Oh, you mean like a horror game
Yeah, horror game.
of all time, or that's
Just
currently
now.
out?
Yeah, just now. Currently out. Like as far as let's just say Xbox One wise and PlayStation 4 one. PlayStation 4 wise and Xbox One wise. What do you think is the most scariest?
I um, it's the Resident Evil franchise.
I want to say that,
The bet
and Outlast is pretty scary too, man. You ever played that?
Outlast, yes.
You're breaking up again.
And you have to. My bad. We're in one portion of the game you drive around on a a on a scary ride at a carnival, and you have to shoot clowns and all that stuff. But it's a zombie movie or a zombie game as well.
Yeah, see,
Game.
a lot of games nowadays, they're scary, but what's the word I'm looking for? They're real scary,
They
but
have jump scares.
right, like they like really jump scares, like you said, like a lot of scary games that's out now. They basically like you can't defend yourself. You know,
No,
like that's the most fucking. I don't want to say it's stupid, but that's what makes it so damn intense and like makes you want to curse a
yeah,
lot because you can't defend, you can't shoot the motherfucker that's coming towards you. The only thing you can do is hide or try to run out and run. You know what I'm saying?
like Evil Within, where
Oh God, I still
the
haven't beat
it.
that game.
I haven't either. Where you Evils did this as well. There was no way for you to always have max ammo for any of your weapons.
Mm-hmm.
You always had to, pick and choose and strategize which weapons you're going to use. You know, and you had to make, those split second decisions whether or not, shit, my pistol's not going to work for this. I only got 4 rounds of a shotgun. But there's two of these people, two of these enemies or whatnot, two of these horror NPCs, I'll just call them. And you have to take care of them, but you risk using more than 2 shotgun shells, and you may need that further down in the game. Though those are the type of games. Evil Within does that quite a bit, where it's not just the jump scares; it's this the strategy in it is also extremely intense. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does.
But yeah, I mean, I would have to say right now is um, the Resident Evil. I mean, they're just an awesome horror.
I haven't played it yet. I haven't bought it yet, but
I haven't either. I've seen plenty of gameplay, and
it looks
it
sick.
looks straight up awesome.
And I wish. See, my only pet peeve with these scary ass games is that you can never, you can't co-op. I want a co-op. I don't want to play the scary shit by myself.
Um, and even within you can co-op, can't you?
No, you can't.
You used to be able to co-op in Resident Evil.
Yeah, you could be able to. You used to be able to do it in Resident Evil. I remember doing it on PlayStation 4, and you can co-op with
Up to 4 people, I think it
Dying
was.
Light. Dying Light is another good one, but Outlast I don't think it's co-op.
I I I haven't played it. I've only seen gameplay of it.
You never got it? It was free, bro. It was free last month.
Oh, I must have missed it.
Oh man, you missed it. It was free. It was Xbox Gold.
Maybe I did download it because I
Please
think
check
I'm pretty sure
when you
I'll
get the
have
chance.
to.
Yeah, when you get the chance, go ahead and check and see if you got it. If so, meet me on the box tonight because I will
All
be
right,
on there.
all
Um,
right, but oh,
yeah, that was a definitely a good one. But we getting ready to conclude the podcast. Is there anything else you want to say?
not. I mean, just the same thing I always say. If you guys have any comments or any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments. I read the comments all. Check the comments all the time. Um, and I'll answer you back as quick as possible. We appreciate you, supporting us and taking time out of your day to watch us or listen to us talk about, some of the amazing stuff that is going on. A lot of the things we talk about, you won't hear on other podcasts. I
Right.
mean, we make a huge effort to diverse a lot of the topics we talk about. Yeah, some of them may cross over, but for the most part, we do our we you know do the best we can to diversify a lot of the stuff we talk about and cover. So, but again, I just want to appreciate thanks for all the support. Keep it up. Hit that like, share, and subscribe.
There you go. You heard it from the best. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we will have more shows coming. Not just everything tech. We will have a show where we're just talking straight up about anime and the new anime coming up and the old school anime. We just gonna have a podcast with straight anime. Like that shit is gonna be sick. Name what other YouTuber you know that's gonna do that. Name what other gaming channel that's gonna do that. If you're not interested in anime and our anime show that's going to come up, maybe you'll be interested in our other show that we talking about pop news, or maybe you'll just be interested in everything tech unlimited, where we talking about not just games, but we talking about with the limited version, we talking about things that's going on in the world, like as far as drones and stuff like that. So we cover everything. We're not just limited to just talking about one specific thing. The only thing that we're gonna talk one Pacific as far as just gaming only is the everything tech. But as far as the unlimited and all the other shows that we are going to bring, you're going to get it all in one, and you're not going to see that in other channels. So please bear with us. We definitely got a website coming. It's definitely in the works. It's going to be a fusion website. It's going to have different sections. It's going to have Heartless TV, and it's definitely going to have God of the Geeks on there. So, and God of the Geeks is going to cover up every single thing from cartoons, anime, uh, you name it. Toys, action figures, like every. It's going to cover everything. Ain't that right, Cut? It's going to cover out every
Hey,
single thing.
excuse me. Yeah, I mean, the plethora of topics and content that what we're going to cover is just astronomical. I mean, there's so much content we're gonna be able to bring you guys. It's it's just gonna be amazing. You
Yeah,
guys are gonna love it.
you're gonna love it. And also, we're gonna not just include technology news. We also going to include some of that astronomy knowledge. Yes, we're talking about the stars and the atmosphere, the stars and the galaxies and stuff like that. We're going to reach out to that as well. So just stay tuned and be patient because we are definitely coming with that heat. We're going to revolutionize this damn channel. To be honest with you, we're going to take off. But thank you for listening and thanks for participating. If you don't mind, could you please like and subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel and like the video. And please, if you got any questions or anything whatsoever, just do not hesitate to leave that comment. And y'all have a good one. This is Heartless over and out. Peace.
It's cut. Peace.